Thank you for coming back to the channel. My name is Raymond Cooper, and this is the Truth from Mr. Cooper YouTube page. What we have again here is another video reaction. What we're doing here is from a YouTube page called Jubilee. They do a lot of things. What I would like to react to today is, do all Trump supporters think the same? I thought this was an interesting one. If you're looking at the thumbnail, obviously I thought this was humorous. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the video. While you are watching the video, you'll see how the format goes, what they put on there, what they write, things like that. Also as well, side note, so the intro and outro will have different music just because I got copyright claim on the last one and I just don't want to keep dealing with that. So the intro and outro will be different for this one. Also as well, I want to thank everybody who has comment, like, subscribe, and share the video, who is assisting. Thank you. Appreciate it. But let's get to some low quality video content.
I'd seen all these negative things saying, oh, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a Nazi, you're this, you're that. And I'm not those things. I love my country. I love my president.
So, I believe that with Trump, when Trump was in office, I think a lot of people were more confident with, okay, yeah, we can do this. I also believe that he brought attention to a lot of people who were, I would say, who were closeted racist, who also as well, like, okay, if our president do anything like this, this is okay for me to do things like this. So I think in a sense, if you are a Trump supporter, there's two sides of the coin. There's the one coin of, I believe his political views, so I am just siding with him. And then you also have the other side of the coin where, okay, I can see where he's going with this. He can push it to that make America great again type gist, but I mean, that's just my opinion. But let's continue.
I disagree because I have literally gotten death threats for expressing my public opinion on politics, on support of the president. I mean, I'm not going to stop expressing my opinion, but I still disagree that I feel safe doing so. I think most Americans don't at this time.
I do not believe that suppressing my opinions from people does anything good for the betterment of society. But as member of the LGBT community, it's pretty hard to hold those views, and I just purposefully make a decision that I'm going to be responsible for my own safety, and I don't let anybody.
This man's a Trump supporter? My apologies. This woman is a Trump supporter. Okay. All right. Let's continue.
Intimidate me that way.
For me, I'm a skateboarder in an industry that is pretty much dominantly liberal, where the graphics are of Trump shaking hands with the KKK. I've been spit on before. I've been cursed at. I've had my board try to be broken from skateboarders. Even though I don't feel safe wearing it publicly, I will continue to do so because I will not have my voice silenced.
Issues about the black community are not important.
Whew, they diving deep off the second questions. Issues about the black community are not important. Now this is, once again, this goes back to my first question. When you, and this is what a lot of people need to understand. There are two different Trump supporters. There are people who are Trump supporters because they believe his views and are just diehard Republican, meaning that if Republicans or whoever is the Republican representative, that's who they're voting for. Now, I believe with Trump, Trump did bring a lot of people who were, I don't want to say that he brought more races to the front, but I think with him being president, he allowed people to get away. He allowed people to think they can get away with things that normally they couldn't get away with. Obviously, the Capitol and other things like that. But I mean, it's to say that you're a Trump supporter and then to say, oh, you're a racist, that's ignorant. You can't say that. I have plenty of friends who are Trump supporters and they're not racist, that they just believe his political views. So that is something we have to take into consideration when we are viewing anybody whatsoever. But let's go.
3, 2, 1.
What? Wait a minute.
I somewhat agree that they're not important. Let me explain why. Because the same issues of the black community affect all communities. And if we are Americans, if we truly consider ourselves Americans, my issues are no different from his issue or her issues or her issues or her issues or his issues. Whether you're white or black or brown or green.
I'm going to say I strongly disagree, and all due respect, I disagree because there are different issues in the black community than are in other communities. There's higher crime rates, there's higher abortion rates, there's crime and violence within this community. There's a lot of hatred within my community, being black, against police officers. And those are specific to the black community.
That is a very good point, but we as Americans, whether you're black, brown, or white, you have a certain obligation to the civil society. So I have the obligation to stop when the police officer says stop. So I'm giving that as an example, which has happened in many cases where abuse has followed because the black runs and he fights back.
I agree with that, but what you just said, you took 20 seconds to explain a black issue. So it is a problem, but of course everyone is responsible for that problem.
Am I tripping? Like, did I not hear the question correctly? Did I see the question is wait. Did I not see the question correctly? I don't want to go back, but wait, what was it? The question? Am I tripping? Okay, let's just continue.
But this community is hurting, and they're just as American as everybody else.
America should build a wall.
Lord.
3, 2,
I'm about to be triggered. I already know it.
I strongly agree that we need the wall. It is not a matter of racial issues, but national security. Let me say that first. First off, 1 out of every 3 illegals comes with a federal crime, whether it's murder or rape or even drug cartel. Also, we talked about black issues. What about the illegal immigrants that come that are dreamers? But what about the American black dreamer? His dreams to be a lawyer, his dreams to go to college, and his dreams to become something and get out the hood. But sadly, we allow these illegals to, 1, pass those who are waiting for a long time to illegally come to.
Bro, like, do you realize that most likely your ancestor, your grandmother, your grandfather, whoever your ancestors were immigrants, like illegal most likely? You understand that, like, what is the wall gonna do? Come on, like, building a wall for the American dream. That's the reasoning that we're going with here, is that building a wall will keep immigrants out, illegal immigrants out, so for the American dream. Like, alright, let me get through this.
To the country, because there is a difference, and it's almost a slap in the face.
I do know at my school, it's a public university, they give out free college to undocumented students, yet here I am. I come from a middle-class family, but I don't get any scholarships. Like,
okay, so this goes back to the video yesterday. I'm sorry, but just you do realize why they give out scholarships to minorities, why they give out scholarships to people who are disabled, why they give out scholarships to certain groups. You do understand that. You are a middle class white woman. You got all the privileges. I know plenty of people who are middle class and who are white who can get into college. So, oh man, I don't even know if I should even react. Let me continue. Let me just go. It's a little bit halfway done. Let me just go.
I get very little. I can barely afford college. Yet these people who aren't even U.S. citizens, they get all these benefits that I myself, as an American citizen, can't get.
Yeah.
I somewhat agree to this. I think the wall is useful and essential. But the real issue is, what can we do to make our country have an easier system for people to come in a legal fashion? It's the procedure that is too difficult, too long, too cumbersome. We love to have them come in. They benefit us. They help us to grow. They provide new ideas. But let's be rational about this and to keep it equal with the citizens of this country who are already here.
Don't they realize that a lot of people's culture, even the culture that somebody might say they have, doesn't come from America? Like, what? Most of the things that people like don't even come from America. So let's get that straight. But Lord, these people said that building a wall. Okay. All right. Let's just continue.
I support the LGBT community. 3, 2.
I support for sure. I'm not in the LGBT community, but everybody should be loved. Everybody should be happy who they are. Everybody should be comfortable in their own skin, sexual orientation, how they identify, all that, everything like that. But that's me.
1.
Brother! Come on, brother!
I guess the reason why I somewhat agree, it depends what you mean by support. If anyone dares to mess with her, I'm gonna kick their ass. So, like, she's got my support 100%. But if you're asking me as a Christian, I'm gonna love someone no matter what they are. We're all, like I said, it's an American issue, and we're all supposed to get this together.
If it's contrary to natural law, which it is in my view, then I don't agree with it. However, I can like you as a person. With the LGBT community, that is pretty much has morphed into a gay rights organization. So they fight for rights that are outside of the natural rights of the Declaration of Independence. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness within the boundaries of natural law. So that's why I don't support the LGBT community in their activism. But I do support them as individual human beings with the same rights as I have. No extra rights, no extra right to marry same sex, but the same right as I have.
But your rights say you can marry whoever you want, right?
Oh, very good. Okay, good point. Good.
There are a lot of features in the LGBT community that are a little bit hard to deal with. I don't identify with a lot of those people. I identify as a transgender person, not necessarily as a gay or lesbian person. My wife, on the other hand, all of a sudden found herself in a same-sex marriage. It was not something that she signed up for. Same-sex marriage is a different thing, but who cares who you love? I'm very active in the Republican Party, and I'm trying to make a big inroads with the religious freedom and the super conservative religious people, because they need to learn to deal with me, because I'm not going anywhere. You know, you live your life. It doesn't agree with my life. I shouldn't feel compelled to affect your life because I don't agree with it.
This is what I will say about the TQ community. When I was younger, growing up, yeah, it was kind of like, all right, like, ew, don't be feminine, don't show those type of emotions, you're looking quote unquote gay. The older I get, obviously, the more I understand, the more I support that. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna like whatever you like, and for people to say you were born this way or religion can cleanse you of that, like, come on, man, just let people be happy. So what I'm getting right now with the video so far is some of the myths I had about people who are Trump supporter have already kind of went away. Obviously, with the transgender woman, I was like, okay, like, Trump supporters don't support gays. They do. Obviously, we disagree with the wall and certain things, but once again, let's continue.
Trump is a good role model for our children.
They.
3, 2, 1.
What y'all think? Y'all think Trump's a good role model for children? Y'all want me to answer that? I'm not. But let's see what they say.
Hell yeah. I get a lot of flack for this, but I strongly agree.
Sorry about the freeze in the recordings. Something was going wrong with my camera. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and give a shout out to one of the new podcasts that I am listening to. And let's get to that real fast, and then we'll get back to it. Interested in NFL injury updates? Maybe you want more details about when your favorite player is returning. Are you into gambling and would like better betting odds? Do you play fantasy football and like to get a one-up on your competitor? Look no further than the Return to Play podcast, a weekly podcast that gives you all this and more. Link will be in the description. Once again, this is the Return to Play podcast. And let's get back to the video. Sorry about that. Camera froze, but let's continue on Trump being a good role model for children.
This, I strongly agree. He's strong and he is fighting for Americans. He listens to what we want. And yeah, he doesn't always tweet the best stuff, but I mean, everybody's done that. But the fact of the matter is, he
doesn't tweet the best stuff, but we live in a day and age and generation that's all about the internet. Okay. We live in a day and age where everybody's on a social media. Everybody's on TikTok. Everybody's on Instagram. Everybody's on Twitter. He doesn't tweet the best stuff, but we shouldn't look at what he says. We should look at it. We should look at only his actions. Right.
Principles, and now he's standing for what he believes in, and he's taking us to the future, a safer, better, stronger America for all of us.
The reason why I somewhat agree is because I don't think any president should be a role model for children. I think they should be a role model for American men and grown adults.
Okay, so this, once again, I hate to keep stopping it, but I think he's like, what, 20-something? Early 20s? This man is saying that no children should look up to a president. Children are supposed to look up to adults. Most children's role models are adults. If you're not inspired to be somebody or be something, then who are supposed to be their role models? Besides their parents. The obvious choice is their parents. But besides that, Okay. Once again, these are opinions. Let's continue.
So I don't think Trump should be a role model for children, because if so, he had to be PC all the damn time, which does nothing but hurt Americans. He's the old school, tell you straight up to your face, the doctor that tells you the truth. He tells you gotta lose 100 pounds and stop smoking, and you'll die. You get mad, you might get insulted, but you find out he's the only one telling you the truth.
I somewhat agree as well, because I think that he's a good role model because he sets out what he's going to do and then he goes and does it. And he's also a good role model because of some of the things he says, which is not...
But Homeboy said that you shouldn't be looking at the president, so why do you somewhat agree, besides being a Trump supporter? So I don't get why you should be over here somewhere. You should be over here somewhere. You should be over here somewhere. But whatever.
Acceptable. And that is what real life is about. It's not that somebody is perfect and never makes a mistake. People make mistakes, they repent from their mistakes, and they go out and do something positive.
Hey, we haven't said it yet, but this man's fit is like A1. I don't know if he knew he was coming on here today, or maybe he was like, I'm a dress to impress. Even though I might make some people angry, I'm about to dress to impress.
Such a hard one.
I did lose a couple friends. I went to school with the Trump shirt on and I brought a Trump flag and waved it around. I had a couple teachers get really mad at me, and that may have affected my grades at the end of the year. Even though I lost some relationships, I've built really good friends. I just really get along with people who think similar to me or accept what I think. They don't have to agree with me, but if you're in a community where people can accept you for who you are, those are the true people you need to surround yourself in.
I mean, I lost friends, family members, supporters, business associates when I came out for Donald Trump. In 2017, February at the Grammys, I wore a dress that said, "Make America Great Again." So I knew I would, create a stir, but...
Now, you being African American, what did you think was going to happen? You already know the stigma behind the MAGA hats. What do you think was going to happen when you went to the Grammys, being African American, and wearing a "Make America Great Again," being black? Just, come on. Like, you trying to make a statement? Was that what you're trying to do? Make a statement? Now, what I would like to get to as well is the college student. She said that she lost friends, and I think two things she mentioned that I wanted to bring up. One was, I get along with people who agree with the same things as me. You're not going to grow as a person if you hang around a bunch of people who think the same thing as you. You want to hang around people who are going to understand where you're coming from and see another point of view, make you grow as a person. But once again, she's younger, she's in college. Maybe those things will change, maybe not. You don't find who you are until later. Sometimes you never find yourself. I think the other point she made, and this is what I said at the beginning of the video, are what I mean by what Trump supporters have brought up. She said that she went to school and had a Trump shirt on and was waving a flag. A Trump flag. Why? The thing is, people who are non-Trump supporters like myself, we don't care that you're a Trump supporter, but when you do the most outrageous type things to say, oh yes, I'm a Trump supporter, that is the issue that people like myself, people who are not Trump supporters have. Once again, the Capitol. You going to school and waving a Trump flag at school. Why? Why was that even necessary? That's the one thing about Donald Trump, and once again, this video is from 2018, so this video is roughly about 3 years old. The one thing about Trump is, I've never seen supporters be so outright about supporting somebody, especially somebody who has so much negative press. Now, granted, I can't come on here and say Donald Trump has not done anything good for the country. That would be a lie. That's not the point of this video. We're not saying that this man has not done anything good while being president. We're saying the actions and repercussions of how he acted and the repercussions of what people think is okay because he was president. That's the issue here. And that's the issue I have with this video. Now, once again, these individual views. I can't say you're wrong. But I can't rant about it. Let's continue. The video's almost over.
Hitting #1 on iTunes, Amazon, Billboard. My album rose to #1 because of Trump supporters. So I've lost things, but I've also maintained this new community.
Why is she flexing on people? My music went up to #1 by being a Trump. Like, what's that got to do with this? Explain that to me.
Based on who I truly am.
You know, any relationship that you lose as a result of supporting Trump is no real relationship anyway, because he's only there temporarily. I mean, this is what everybody keeps forgetting. I mean, this guy is only going to be here for what, another 4 or 5 years? And so I want to remind everybody of that. You know, it's not the end of the world. Not yet. It's getting there, but not yet.
And who you think's at the forefront of that? It's not the end of the world, but it's getting there. Man. Okay.
Trump is making America great.
All right, I'm done.